Hey there, fellow Americans. Have you checked your Social Security statement lately? Because what's happening in Congress right now could completely transform your retirement future. Before we dive into today's critical discussion about the ongoing Social Security debates in Congress, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated on the latest policy changes affecting your financial future. Imagine waking up one morning to find your expected Social Security benefits have drastically changed. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario, it's a possibility as Congress engages in one of the most significant debates about Social Security reform in decades. The questions on everyone's mind: will the retirement age increase? Are benefit cuts on the horizon? And most importantly, how will these changes affect your monthly checks? The current Social Security system, established in 1935, has been a cornerstone of American retirement planning for generations. But with demographic shifts, longer life expectancies, and changing economic conditions, the system faces unprecedented challenges. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2034, creating an urgent need for reform. This sobering reality has pushed Congress into action, leading to intense debates about potential solutions. Republican lawmakers have proposed several controversial measures, including gradually raising the retirement age to 70 for younger workers. Their argument? People are living longer, and this adjustment could help ensure the system's long-term sustainability. But Democrats strongly oppose this approach, arguing it would disproportionately affect blue-collar workers who often face physically demanding jobs and typically have lower life expectancies. Another hotly debated proposal involves adjusting the cost of living calculation method. The current system uses the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPIW. But some legislators are pushing for a switch to the Chained Consumer Price Index, chained CPI. What's the difference? The chained CPI typically shows lower inflation rates, which would result in smaller annual benefit increases. Proponents claim this change would save billions, while critics argue it would gradually erode seniors' purchasing power. What about the payroll tax cap? Currently, Social Security taxes only apply to earnings up to $160,200. Some lawmakers are advocating for raising or eliminating this cap entirely, arguing that high-income earners should contribute more to the system. But opponents warn this could hurt small business owners and create disincentives for economic growth. Have you ever wondered why this cap exists in the first place? The debate has also sparked discussions about expanding benefits for certain groups. Some proposals aim to increase minimum benefits for low-income workers and boost payments for elderly beneficiaries who have been receiving benefits for 20 years or more. These changes could help combat poverty among seniors, but how would they be funded? A particularly contentious issue is the treatment of Social Security for future generations. Some lawmakers suggest creating a partial privatization option for younger workers, allowing them to invest a portion of their payroll taxes in personal retirement accounts. This proposal has reignited debates from previous reform attempts. Would this provide better returns for workers, or would it undermine the system's fundamental purpose of providing guaranteed benefits? The impact of these potential changes would vary significantly across different demographic groups. Consider a 30-year-old worker today. How would an increased retirement age affect their retirement plans? Or think about a current retiree living primarily on Social Security income. What would changes to the cost of living adjustments mean for their monthly budget? These questions demonstrate why the debate has become so heated and personal for many Americans. International comparisons have also entered the discussion. Countries like Japan and several European nations have already implemented similar reforms to address their aging populations. What can the United States learn from their experiences? For instance, Sweden's transition to a partially privatized system in the 1990s offers both cautionary tales and potential solutions. The role of technology in modernizing Social Security administration has emerged as another important aspect of the reform debate. Could blockchain technology help prevent fraud? Would artificial intelligence improve benefit calculations and customer service? These technological considerations could shape how reforms are implemented and administered. Mental health advocates have raised concerns about how potential changes might affect beneficiaries with disabilities. The Social Security Disability Insurance (SSDI) program, which is part of the larger Social Security system, could see significant changes under some reform proposals. How would these changes impact Americans with mental health conditions who rely on these benefits? Climate change has surprisingly entered the Social Security debate as well. Some economists argue that environmental factors could affect long-term economic growth and, consequently, Social Security's financial outlook. Should climate-related economic projections be considered in reform planning? This adds another layer of complexity to an already multifaceted issue. The COVID-19 pandemic's lasting effects on the economy have also influenced the reform discussion. The surge in early retirements during the pandemic, combined with ongoing inflation concerns, has created new challenges for Social Security's financial stability. How should these recent developments shape our approach to reform? Intergenerational equity has become a central theme in the debate. Younger workers are increasingly concerned about whether they'll receive the benefits they're currently paying for. Some argue that any reform plan must explicitly address this generational fairness issue. What obligations do we have to ensure the system remains viable for future generations? The role of private retirement savings has emerged as a crucial component of the reform discussion. Should Social Security reforms be coupled with initiatives to encourage more private retirement savings? Some proposals suggest expanding access to workplace retirement plans or creating new tax incentives for personal retirement accounts. Healthcare costs significantly impact Social Security's effectiveness in providing retirement security. Many retirees spend a substantial portion of their benefits on medical expenses. Should healthcare costs be more directly considered in benefit calculations? Some reformers advocate for better integration between Social Security and Medicare policies. The debate has also highlighted regional differences in how Social Security benefits are used and valued. Cost of living variations between urban and rural areas, as well as different states, affect how far Social Security benefits stretch. Should the system account for these geographic variations? This question has added another dimension to the reform discussion. Immigration policy has become increasingly linked to Social Security reform discussions. Legal immigrants who work and pay into the system contribute significantly to Social Security's finances. How should immigration policies be considered in the context of ensuring Social Security's long-term sustainability? Gender equity issues have gained prominence in the reform debate. Women typically receive lower Social Security benefits due to lower lifetime earnings and time taken out of the workforce for caregiving. Should reforms specifically address these gender-based disparities? Some proposals include creating caregiver credits or adjusting the spousal benefit calculations. The impact of automation and the changing nature of work has entered the reform conversation. As traditional employment relationships evolve and gig work becomes more common, how should Social Security adapt? Some suggest the system needs fundamental changes to accommodate these new work patterns. Education and financial literacy have emerged as important components of the reform discussion. Many Americans don't fully understand how Social Security works or how proposed changes might affect them. Should reform efforts include expanded education initiatives? This knowledge gap complicates the public debate about potential changes. The role of employers in Social Security's future has become another focal point. Some reform proposals would increase employer contributions, while others suggest reducing their obligations. How would these changes affect job creation and wages? The business community's perspective adds another layer to the reform debate. State and local government pension systems interact significantly with Social Security, and reform proposals must consider these relationships. Some public employees don't participate in Social Security, creating unique challenges for reform efforts. How should these parallel retirement systems be integrated into reform plans? The debate has also raised questions about Social Security's administrative efficiency. Some argue that modernization efforts could reduce costs and improve service delivery. Should administrative reforms be prioritized alongside benefit and funding changes? This operational aspect often receives less attention but could significantly impact the system's effectiveness. As the debate continues, public opinion remains deeply divided. Polling shows strong support for preserving Social Security but significant disagreement about specific reform measures. How much weight should public opinion carry in shaping reform proposals? This question underlies much of the political maneuvering around reform efforts. Looking ahead, the timeline for implementing any changes has become a crucial consideration. Some propose gradual changes over decades, while others advocate for more immediate reforms. How quickly should changes be implemented, and how can we ensure fair transition periods? These timing questions could significantly impact the reform's success. The role of federal debt and deficit considerations in Social Security reform has become increasingly important. Some argue that Social Security reform must be considered within the broader context of federal financial sustainability. How should these macro-fiscal concerns influence reform proposals? International trade policies and their impact on wages and employment affect Social Security's financial health. Should reform efforts consider these broader economic factors? Some argue that strengthening American workers' economic position would naturally improve Social Security's finances. The debate has also highlighted the need for better data and analysis tools to project Social Security's future needs. Some advocate for creating new research institutions or expanding existing capabilities to improve policy planning. How can we ensure reforms are based on the best possible information? As we wrap up this comprehensive look at the Social Security reform debate, it's clear that the decisions made in Congress will have far-reaching implications for all Americans. Whether you're decades away from retirement or currently receiving benefits, these potential changes could significantly impact your financial future. What role will you play in shaping these crucial policy decisions? Remember to subscribe to our channel for ongoing coverage of this vital issue and other important policy debates affecting your financial future. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Social Security should be reformed? Your voice matters in this crucial national conversation. The stakes couldn't be higher as Congress debates these fundamental changes to America's retirement security system. Stay informed, stay engaged, and be part of the solution as we work together to ensure Social Security's sustainability for generations to come. Will you join us in following this critical issue? Hit that subscribe button now to stay updated on the latest developments in this ongoing debate.